is my meditation all the day, all the night, morning through night. And I delight in the law of the Lord, and on his law I meditate day and night. Morning Meditations with C.J. Marshall.
Morning. If you ever have moved houses, you know that there is this in-between state, a state in which you are moving away from one house, but you're not quite, you're not quite into the new house, and you're leaving the old house. Where are you? What are you? You're a pilgrim at that point until you move all the way into that house and get all the furniture over and actually settle down. You are a pilgrim between two houses. That's what many of the faithful here in Hebrews chapter 11 were. Pick up with me in verse 13. These all died in faith, not having received the things promised, but having seen them and greeted them from afar, and having acknowledged that they were strangers and exiles on the earth. He's talked about people like Abel and Noah and Abraham and Sarah. These all died in faith, and notice, having received the promises, but they haven't seen them. They're still in between houses. They haven't lived in the promise. That they've trusted in them, they greeted them, but they never they never got the fullness of the promises, which is remarkable that they were willing to still do what God said, even if it meant not being there to see the fulfillment of God's plan. You know, we want to see the big picture. We want to know what God's going to do in my life. We would love that. We don't want to be left in the dark. These people did not have the whole picture. Well, look at what it says in verse 14. For people who speak thus make it clear that they are seeking a homeland. They're seeking something else. If they had been thinking of that land from which they had gone, they would have had opportunity to return. But as it is, they desired a better country, that is a heavenly one. Therefore, God is not ashamed to be called their God, for he has prepared for them a city. They weren't seeking where they came from. They were seeking something greater. They were seeking something better. If not, they would have gone back, the Hebrew writer says. They would have rejected God's plan and went on back. But they didn't. They waited. And by faith, they waited. They didn't get to see the reality of all of God's promises. but they had the faith to trust God enough to see what His plan was for their lives. And they sought that heavenly country. And let's be like them. We might not get the full picture sometimes, but we have a heavenly country to come in which God will give us that full picture. We'll understand everything there. It'll be all clear because we'll be with the one who died for us. Let us die in faith. So verse 13 can be said about us. These all died in faith. I want to die in faith. I want to be faithful unto death. So I will receive the crown of life. I hope you do too. I hope you long for that and want that with your whole being. And I want to see you in heaven. Live faithfully each day. Thank you for joining me for another episode of Morning Meditations. May we always be like the psalmist that says, "Oh, how I love you, Lord. It is my meditation all the day." See you next time.
Morning meditations, oh how I love thy law. It is my meditation all the day, all the night, morning through night. And I delight in the law of the Lord, and on his law I meditate day and night.